Good morning and welcome here to Medford, but it's Greater Boston Centers for Spiritual Living morning service. What a gift it is to be here with you all, both those of you who are virtual and those of you here with us. Thank you to this beautiful group of people for making all of this possible. And I thank you for being here to celebrate this wonderful, wonderful new beginnings in ways. It is an exciting day, and our topic is such an important one to remember. Our topic for today is when the road gets rocky. And we definitely all have gone through so much, and it's now at a point that we're getting used to what was abnormal before, but life still gets rocky. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And in that, I have two songs that go along with that. And this first song that I'm going to play for you, it is being sung by a mother and son, and it was recorded actually during our initial shutdown. And the song is beautiful, and I know that it's going to help you to rise up with me and all of us.
You broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains.
And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up,
and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
and I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up,
And I'll do it 1,000 times again.
for you,
For you,
for you.
for you.
When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe,
And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet.
move mountains,
Bring it to its feet. Move.
and I'll rise up, I'll rise like a day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up,
And I'll do it 1,000 times again.
for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope.
And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise up 1,000 times again.
And we'll rise up, high like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up,
And we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you,
for you, for you, for you.
What a beautiful song. What a beautiful sentiment. And the next thing we're going to do today is we're going to hand it over to our beloved Barbara, who is a practitioner, an amazing, amazing gift to this center. And everyone that you see as taking part these days has been so much a part of revitalizing this center again. What a gift it is. We have a beautiful good morning from Rev G. What a gift it is. Yes, you get the Sunday off. And Rev Ed, good morning. Thank you for watching with us. It is a beautiful gift to have you here. And we have Barbara that's going to come up, and our stream isn't on her. We're working on getting it right to her in just one moment. Okay. And we're going to be doing our purpose statement, followed by what we believe. So, Barbara,
I'm ready.
go right ahead.
Who we are in the world. We are a safe, welcoming, nurturing, spiritual community of light, love, and joy. And you can join at home saying who you are individually with the I statement. I
am a safe, welcoming,
nurturing, spiritual person of light, love, and joy. And the we believes are the things that science of mind or spiritual centers of greater living all believe together. We believe in the healing of the sick and control of conditions through the power of the mind. And then we say it again as I statements. Please join at home too. I believe in the healing of the sick and control spirit.
All that we need to be. Thank you. Blessed be, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for that beautiful invocation. And we have one more song for you that we're going to play before we begin our message. And the gift of this song is, part of it is who sings it. It is a song by Nightbird. And many of us have seen this on America's Got Talent. She has gone through so much, many treatments with cancer, and just the experience of, and she has such a powerful message. And this song fits so well. It's okay.
I moved to California in the summertime. I changed my name thinking that it would change my mind. I thought that all my problems, they would stay behind. I was a stick of dynamite and it just was a matter of time. Oh dang, oh my, now I can't hide. Said I knew myself, but I guess I lied. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. I wrote 100 pages, but I burned them all. Yeah, I burned them all. I blow through yellow lights and don't look back at all. I don't look back at all. Yeah, you can call me reckless, I'm a cannonball. I'm a cannonball. Don't know why I take a tightrope and cry when I fall. I knew what I wanted, but I guess I lied. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. It's alright. Oh, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright. Oh, it's alright. Oh, it's alright. Be lost sometimes. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Yeah. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright.
Yes, it's all right. It's okay. And now we have our beautiful spiritual reading by Karen.
Good morning. Following that song, oh my goodness. When Gina told me that when the road gets rocky was the theme, I chose something from 365 Days of Richer Living. And the reading is entitled, My Faith Makes Me Whole. Faith is a mental attitude. A certain man came to Jesus, and from the inspiration of his hope and the enthusiasm of the occasion, standing in the light of one whose wick of life was ever kept trim and burning, feeling the warmth and color of its eternal glow, exclaimed, "I believe." This was simple, sincere, and enthusiastic response to the consciousness of one who had faith. But no sooner had he exclaimed, "I believe," out of the enthusiasm of his will to believe, than old thought patterns arose to block his faith, and he said, "Help thou mine unbelief." Faith is more than an objective statement. Perfect faith cannot exist while there are subjective contradictions that deny the affirmations of the lips. It is only when the intellect is no longer obstructed by negative reactions arising from experiences of doubt and fear that the words of the mouth can immediately bear fruit. Say, "I believe with a deep inward calm that my word of faith is the execution of spiritual law in my life. I have absolute reliance upon the law of good. I believe that the law of good will bring everything desirable into my experience. Today I proclaim my divine inheritance. I am rich with the richness of God. I am strong with the power of God. I am guided by the wisdom of God. I am held in the goodness of God today." Thank you.
And so it
And
is.
so it is.
And what a beautiful message. Yes, I am guided, guarded, and governed. And when I remember that, life goes so much smoother, doesn't it? What a blessing it is to be here with you. Thank you. Thank you all in this beloved community for inviting me to be here today. It is truly an honor to be among you and be part of this beautiful, beautiful family. And when the road gets rocky, you know, one of the things that I've learned is that there are some people that have so many boulders on their path. There are those that have pebbles and they think they have boulders. And there are those that actually have a lot of them. And as we walk in life, we get a choice on what we do with it. The path that goes forth before you, it's who you're meant to be. I believe what we do with it is that choice of what we become. Now, the fertilizer basically can help us to grow bigger, brighter, in amazing ways. But in the moment, in that moment, it doesn't feel that way. You know, so what do we do? You know, I love that first song that we played was Rise Up, Rise Like the Day. You know, the best part of every day is that there's a new one. If it was really bad, we get the opportunity to start all over again tomorrow. Go to bed early and start again. We get the choice on what we do and what we say and what we make of things. We don't have to stay there. We can start anew. We get to rise up. But the question sometimes is, well, how do I do that? How do I make it so that I can rise up? How do I trust spirit in that way? What does that look like? You know, yes, September, we are reaching higher. And, you know, that reaching higher, if you look at the person in this picture, they have one leg and they're on the side of a mountain. There are those that wouldn't go anywhere with that circumstance. You know, there are a lot of things in life that we take for granted until we don't have them. Then what do you do? You know, I am someone that has learned by necessity to go with the flow. Not because I choose to, not because I like to, but because I'm used to it. And that's a gift. We get that flexibility, that resilience to life. But how do we get that resilience? And that's what I'd like to talk about today. How do we get back to that place? You know, when we look at a palm tree, they're used to storms. Those tropical winds, those hurricanes, they're used to storms. If you put an oak tree down in Florida, it may not last very long, because what happens in the wind? It falls over. It cracks. Those branches, they crack. But a palm tree bends. So when we use our spiritual tools and our practices, we get that flexibility. Your faith can penetrate the clouds of unbelief and reveal the truth that is always perfect. Your words do not create this truth, only reveal it. Your thought operating through the law of life can satisfy your need, turn fear into faith, loss into gain, and failure into success. So again, your words don't create it, but they reveal it. So in the moment, it's tough sometimes because, you know, we say all is well. And trusting that when it doesn't look so well, that's a different story, because it's so important that we're not just saying that. We're not just saying all is well. We have to believe that. So what does that take? How do we get to that place? Yes, we speak the truth, knowing that Spirit's got this, whatever it may be. And knowing sometimes a breakdown is so that there is a breakthrough. Sometimes things have to fall apart completely to come together stronger. And amazing things happen when that happens. And that takes faith. That takes what we cannot see but know. And being in that place of knowing, trusting. I think of faith as more than a life raft. It is that boat that if I keep myself in the boat, I know that Spirit not only keeps me afloat, but is the power that rows it, guides me, governs me, and gives me all that I need to go in that, quote, right direction. And the gift is there is no wrong. Because even those seeming wrongs are fertilizer for what's even better. Some of the quote unquote mistakes I've made have been some of the best opportunities in my life. So it's trusting that in those darkest moments, it's finding the right people that can help light our path. It's finding the right practices that keep me on the path. Our emotions are those rumble strips, right? That's where we get to decide. When I feel awful, I need to change route. It's not comfortable right now. And you know, as the song says, we're not always going to be okay. It's okay to feel a little lost. It's okay to not be okay. And sometimes in religious scientists, especially, you know, New Thought, you know, we talk about it like everything is always rosy. Yes, all's well. But if I'm not in the place, it's being able to observe without falling into it, being in it, but not of it. We experience bumps in the road. We experience problems. And to say otherwise is denying it, and denial only pushes it deeper. It keeps it there. So how do I rise above it and get past it? I love this. A tree is fertilized by its own broken branches and leaves. So all that came before can be used for you to rise up in greater and greater ways. Now, this quote is deep, and I'm going to break it down in different parts. The whole purpose of the science of mind is to reconcile the apparent separation of the spiritual world, which must be perfect, with the material world, which appears imperfect. Now, that's a mouthful, but that's what we stand for. So we know all is well, but it doesn't always look that way. So we go back to our spiritual truths. So if spirit is love, then I am love. If spirit is power, regardless of how I'm feeling in the moment, I am power. Now I know this. If spirit is wholeness and perfection, then I am. And each person, anyone in my life, has that within them. It is not my job to cure anyone. Only spirit does that. But the gift is that I know that all that they need is within them. And when I know the truth of them, amazing things happen. So it's being in that place of awareness and allowing the truth to overshadow any seeming experience in the moment. And I'm not saying that's easy, especially when we're attached. Emotions are an amazing thing. And when it's people we love, it's so difficult, especially when we're in it. Pain happens, loss, grief, financial. Okay, it's saying all is well, but I'm getting bills in the mail. What do I do with that? How do I turn that around? Well, sometimes we can on our own. We can know the truth enough to know that we know, and everything changes. We change our knowing. And sometimes we reach out to a practitioner. Sometimes we have somebody treat for us because they can know it a little easier than we can know it in the moment. Because they're not feeling that pain, they're only knowing truth. We have tools that allow us to be in that space. The spiritual world is the cause of the material. We are spiritual beings governed by a mental law. So we know truth guides everything that we do. It just is what it is. It's always about truth. And it goes by what we're really feeling. Not what we're saying, not lip service, but what we're feeling. Not what we're experiencing, but what we know and feel. You can be peace in the midst of a storm. You can be that calm. And there are moments when we are centered enough in truth that we walk through things in amazing ways. We've all had those moments that we did things, we didn't know how we did them. We didn't know who stepped in and took care of this, but it happened. And we look back and say, wow, I can't believe I got through that. I can't believe, yet that's the point, is believing. It's using those stepping stones, even the boulders, to get us to that higher elevation of knowing this too shall pass, no matter what. And the final part of that is wherever this consciousness lacks a true perspective, its outward expression will lack proper harmony. This is why we're taught to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. So it's all about our consciousness, which we say all the time. Where is our consciousness? Now, if you think of a water, okay, you have a bowl of water and it's dirty. All right, it's got some sand and it's all gritty and it's can't even see through it. If you pour enough water in, it gets clear. If you pour enough, you'll barely notice anything that was there before. Now that clear water is that consciousness of spirit. That's truth. That's light. That's beauty. I don't care what mood you're in, you go to a beautiful sunset and you will behold something bigger than you. You will know. You hear a baby's laugh and suddenly something in you changes because there's a magnificent presence right here in that moment that you can't miss. Our job is to keep pouring the water. Now, unfortunately, I know I've done it many times that in the moment, I wasn't in the routine of pouring the water. So, it's like that, oh crap handle. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, all right, help now, help now, help now. How many times have we gone to spirit like Santa Claus, like, fix this? And then there's other times when daily practices are there and I am centered and I walk into a circumstance centered, present, knowing truth, and I walk through the circumstance, regardless of whether it was difficult or easy or whatever it may be. I get through that day and I get a new one the next day. And the more we do that, the more our resilience and faith in ourselves grows. And that's where the gift is knowing I got this because Spirit as me has this. I am never alone. I know that. I didn't always know that. It is the greatest gift in my life to know that I am never alone, that I can ask for help in any moment. I can't, you can, I give it to you. You know, one of my latest things that I've been saying is keep my hands in the ride. So I'm in that life mode. And if I keep my hands in the ride and I keep focused on Spirit and truth, things will go well. They can't help not to. It's my fears, doubts, insecurities, but it's that slows me down. Those are when I'm putting my hands out like, but what if, and I try to grab the rose and try going in my own direction. Fears, doubts, and insecurities are never real. It's something that we're worried about. It hasn't happened, not there. It's not a reaction to anything except our own disconnect. What are you choosing to keep in mind? What does that look like in your life every day? It doesn't mean that you don't have to do something, but when we're Spirit guided, the something can be easier. What if it was easy? I add that to most of my treatments. What if it was easy? What if I allowed it to be easy? Who said it has to be tough? I have had enough of tough. Nothing worthwhile is easy. Never say that. Never. Watch the words that come out of your mind, your mouth. It is easy. You know, oh, it's 1 in a million. Well, good thing I only need one. It's not about odds because the one created the odds is the one that's in charge, unless I am trying to hold on to the reins. So it's up to us to realize there's so much more if we allow there to be more. We may meet difficulties, uncertainties, and doubts, barriers walling our passage, but we must not be discouraged when so confronted. We must climb over the rocks of unbelief, pass around the barriers of doubt, and plunge into the stream with faith. The stream will ever widen. The barriers will gradually disappear. Though we walk through the plains and valleys of indecision and doubt, the stream will carry us back to the ocean of our being. And that's Ernest Holmes. And we know that to be true. We know it. Or we wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be watching. You wouldn't be here in person. You wouldn't be part of this if you didn't know there was something bigger. And when I pay attention to it instead of the seeming fear, amazing things happen. Spirit in you, as you, is you. That is a gift. The more I know that, the more I repeat that, that's one of my mantras. Spirit in me, as me, is me. You are an individual expression of divine. No one is like you. If you have children and you have several children, they're like they came from different trees. You think, okay, there's an apple tree, there's an orange tree, there's a pear tree. And there's what those kids alike. They're never alike in any way. None of us are either. And they're not supposed to be. It's meant to be this beautiful, diverse world in the glory of who you are. And the only time you will ever find peace is to be at peace with the peace of who you are. It is a mosaic, and every square is different. And when you step back, you see that full picture. And even those bumps in the road, even those boulders, were those stepping stones to get us in the right direction. Because what happens to water when it hits a boulder? It has to go around. And where it goes was where it was meant to be. So even those seeming roadblocks are exactly what was meant to be. It's up to us to trust it. At the level of being, one recognizes that all suffering is illusory. Suffering is due solely to identification with form. That's where pain is. Suffering is staying in pain. It is a choice, consciously or unconsciously, staying in pain. And it's not about, sometimes it happens and it's not, there's no judgment in it. We can stay on the rumble strip. It's not easy for our vehicle. It's not easy for our temple body, body temple. It's not easy for our mind. We can stay in the suffering of doubt, fear, and insecurity. Some people live their whole lives there, feeling isolated, feeling separate from. Or we can know the truth of oneness, that I am perfect, whole, and complete, exactly where I am, that Spirit as me chose me to be just this way. And it's not just all right, it's perfect. Regardless what it looks like or feels like at any given moment. Everything you've been through allows you to help somebody else through it. There's a lot of people that say things like, why me? Why not me? Why? Somebody else deserves pain. No, everybody's got stuff. You get a choice of how you walk through it. And the more you've been through, the easier everything else seems. Everything in your life is perspective. Choose your perspective. You get to choose. When you're in pain and staying there, go to someone that can help you. You get a choice. Sometimes we forget. That's why we surround ourselves with the people that can help us remember. Not everyone remembers. You get a choice in any moment. The 3 C's of life is choices, chances, changes. You must make the choice to take a chance if you want anything to change. So it's not going to happen on its own. I'm not going to wake up and tomorrow I'm going to be thin and life is going to be easy and I will be in this beautiful palace. Yeah, maybe that's not my life, but that's okay. I am doing the next right thing to be the healthiest version of me. And it's enough. I have a beautiful home and a wonderful husband that adores me. That's enough. More than a lot of people have. So am I trying to get away from what I have, or am I appreciating it and growing with that? Each person, you deserve that birthright that Karen was talking about. You deserve that birthright of divine. But if you don't feel worthy of it, it can't come to you. If your consciousness is a cup, the ocean can't be granted. People say, well, bring a barrel. Never mind the barrel. Jump in the ocean. It's beautiful. The water's fine. You don't have to take away anything. There's only one. Jump in. Float. Just lie back and be easy. Know that Spirit's got you in every way. Infinity fills all molds and always flows into new and larger molds. Within us is the possibility of unlimited experience. It is our privilege to give birth to them. What are you imagining? What have you been thinking about? Or what did you give up on? What would you love? Where would you, what do you want to do? Where would you love to go? What is it that you want in life? Where might you have been limiting yourself? Why not you? Why not now? Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So be in that place and surround yourself by the people that will uplift you and cheer you on, that not just support you, but know the truth of you and are excited with you and for you, even when you're not. You are a unique expression of the creative energy of the universe. You're an original, and divine in you has one desire: to express expansively and creatively its uniqueness. This is your spiritual destiny. And that's from Eric Butterworth. Your spiritual destiny. Think about that. That spirit within you is free and magnificent. Are you living that way? I truly believe that, we know dis-ease, any kind of sickness or illness is that dis-ease. And I think oftentimes it's those blockages that seem to be in our road that stop that spirit from soaring, and something breaks. And that's where that dis-ease comes from, that discontent. So it's choosing to keep climbing, keep soaring and being in that place. And on that note, I have a poem that I'd love to share with you that I wrote for this week. Getting back up again. Life has its highs and lows, and each are opportunities to grow. Nobody wants to fail or fall, but all do, unless they continue to play small. There are many things you will be called to do, and if you pay attention, you'll know what is yours to do. Nobody else is here to create the life experience meant to be your fate. There will be discouragement and even doubts at times, but you are always connected to divine mind. Some doors will shut, others will slam, and you may even feel hurt again and again. For on our path, we must crawl, walk, and eventually take flight. These cycles can even repeat, taking resilience, hope, and faith to create. Remember that growing pains can surface at any age, but the power within you, propelled by your divinity, you're mighty and strong and free to create your joyful destiny. So if in any moment you forget, simply dust off any seeming regret. For it took every experience, lesson, and heartbreak to create the life that leads you to take flight. It's up to you to take flight. It's up to you to choose where it is you want to go. What it is you desire is what's propelling your soul. There's a reason for it. It is not selfish, because the better you do, the better everyone in your life does. The higher you soar, the higher the people around you know they can. You are only limited by your own self-beliefs. And in that knowing, in that power, right here and right now, I'd like to do an affirmative prayer and know that. Know that any seeming belief other than the truth is washed away. So taking a moment and taking a breath right here and right now to know this truth, to be in this space of knowing, oneness, wholeness, perfection. Because there is only one power, one presence, one life. That one love, perfect harmony and joy, omniscient, omnipresent, and opulent. That one power, that one wholeness is all that is, was, and ever will be. It is right here, right now. And I am that I am. I am that consciousness. I am that light, that love, that joy. And as I know it of me, I know it of each one. Each one is that individualized expression of divine. Each one is that light and harmony. Each one is that power beyond comprehension, that clear water flowing freely. And right here, right now, I dissipate any seeming fears, doubts, or insecurities. Right here, right now, I let go of anything that does not feel, that does not serve in any way, shape, or form. Let it all go. I let it go and I let God. I let Spirit be that light force. I know that far more than the boat, Spirit is that allness that I am, that power that directs, guards, guides, and governs. I know it for myself and I know it for each one, the perfect birthright of abundance. In all finances, and all needs are met abundantly, right here and right now. Letting go of the cup and jumping in the ocean of good, expecting nothing but good. I let go of any seeming problems and knowing that that water is clear, that my consciousness is clear, that my good, my path, and all that comes from this moment is good and greater good. So in that joy and in that absolute knowing that it is already done, I hand it to the law to be the doer. I know that in that one mind, anything and everything is possible. So I let it free. In joy and complete thanksgiving, in gratitude of knowing that it is done as we believe. And I know that truth right here and right now. So in full joyful expectation, say amen and blessed be. And together we say, and so it is. And in that knowing, I invite you to share in this affirmation for this week. Together we say, every step of the way is an extension of my faith. The further I go, the higher I rise. And what a gift it is. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And I thank you all for your comments. And thank you for being here. And, you know, it's in that remembering. So I invite you to practice this week that remembering. Practice the different ways that we have in tools through sacred reading, through our, through our prayer, through our visioning. We have so much good that we have for our toolkit. Make sure we use it, including the people around us. We have friends in this teaching for a reason. We help each other when we may forget the way. And I invite you now, it's our time for sacred giving. And we're going to be reading our affirmation of sharing our gifts together. It is the nature of life to give of itself, as it is the tree's nature to bear fruit and the flower's nature to bloom. It is my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in the divine flow of life, giving generously and receiving abundantly. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I am grateful. And we have different ways to give. Remember that, you can text to give. And I always say, if you're online, screenshots, the best way to get that information, because you can text to give, or you can use PayPal. You can email us for any information that you may have. Our email is at info@cslboston.org. Remember that we are here because of what it is that circulates to us and back again. So knowing that law of circulation, I thank you. And as far as announcements goes, I just want to make sure we remember that we have visioning this coming Wednesday. And every Wednesday we vision for this beautiful center, this beautiful moving forth and into the world. And what does that look like? So I invite you for this centering in this beautiful time of visioning that ocean, that vastness, that beauty that is CSL Greater Boston. And we have fellowship right after this, and I do hope you can join us. Our fellowship is our Zoom, and we have a Zoom link that is actually, there we go. Thank you so much, Chris, who is helping me this morning. And again, you can screenshot that, or it's 990-6825-1729 with a passcode of 014254. And that is also on our Facebook page. So thank you for being here this morning. It is such a gift to be here with you, and I do hope that you will join us in Zoom. And, for fellowship and some time to just say hello to everyone that's here in this beautiful faces in this room, the beautiful consciousness that I am blessed to be a part of. So I wish you a beautiful week with nothing but maybe some pebbles, if we even have that, knowing that we are mighty giants, that anything is a stepping stone to the greater and greater to be. So I wish you love, blessings, and peace. Namaste.